So, this is a question that I get a lot, and so basically, if you exercise or on days that you exercise, should you eat more food? The main question that I get is from people who track calories, and they're basically asking if they should eat their exercise calories back. Okay, now if you don't track calories, then it basically means what it means, what it says in the title, and if you exercise on these days, should you eat more? Now, I would say for the majority of people, no, but it does depend. Now, the reason I lean more towards no the majority of the time is because exercise really doesn't burn that many calories, especially not as many people think, and especially if you're doing it for less than a couple of hours a day intensely, okay? And most people, let's be honest, aren't going to be doing that, and that's totally fine, but if you're not doing it that much or that intensely, you're probably not burning as many calories as you think you are. Now, I also realise that a lot of people rely on things like activity trackers, etc., to see how many calories that they've burned. Now, I'm not bashing activity trackers, I have one myself, but I would say be very wary with calories burned on activity trackers because they tend to be off and can be off by quite a lot. So, it's highly unlikely that the 1 hour gym session that you've done has burnt 500-600 calories. Probably more likely to be 200-300, especially if it was a weight session, okay? So what tends to happen when people eat these back or they eat more because they've exercised is, they eat these back and then they cancel out their deficit. So, because they've burnt more than they thought. Not as much as they thought, sorry. Because they're focusing on either what the activity tracker's saying or what they just think in general, and again, exercise really doesn't burn as many calories as you think. Okay, now I do want to say that it varies, okay, and that's why I said it depends. So I would say more than anything, just analyze your results and analyze how you feel, because if you start to feel lethargic or dizzy or faint, then of course add some more calories back in, eat some more food. This may be because that you're not eating enough as it is to begin with, which I think a lot of people do, and they just cut how much food they're eating way too much, and they could actually eat more anyway. But again, it could be to do with the amount of exercise that you're doing as well. If you tend to eat some back now, and maybe you aren't seeing results like you want to, maybe try eating a little less back, okay? And just analyse how you feel. Look at your results, because this is all part, again, of developing self-awareness, okay? Because you need to, like I say, it depends on different people. You may respond better, you may respond worse. It depends on the amount of activity, the intensity of the activity. So, again, analyse how you feel, because developing self-awareness is literally the best thing that you can do, because everybody responds different, okay? However, again, I will say as a general rule, and a very general rule, I want to emphasise that unless you're exercising for 2 hours intensely, I'd be very wary about eating more because you've done that. Okay, again, just because people tend to overestimate how much they've done, they eat more than what they burn, and that just cancels everything out. Okay, and it can be a lot of reasons sometimes why people don't make progress, okay? But again, as always, analyse your results, see how you feel, and adjust accordingly. However, I will say, unfortunately, because I hear this a lot as well, I get asked this a lot, unfortunately, that gym session, that run, etc., doesn't mean that you deserve those 2 or 3 glasses of wine, those 4 cans of beer, that chocolate cake. Doesn't usually work that way, unfortunately, okay? Like I say, unless you're doing it for hours and hours and a day. But again, I would say mostly use the exercise as, extra deficit as such. So you're burning more calories. So the difference between what you eat and what you burn is higher. You may see results quicker. But again, as always, look at your results, look at how you feel, and adjust accordingly. And try either way and see which works best for you. Okay? So I hope you got some value from that, guys. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, and share. So always appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I shall see you on the next video.